Have you ever crushed it at home, closed the deal, nailed the presentation, and still feel as if you were losing at home? At work, there's a clear scoreboard, right? There's quarterly reviews, there's a bonus, there's a promotion, and you literally can see the results of your efforts. But at home, there is no clear scoreboard, right? No immediate feedback, no guarantee that what you're actually doing is working. And that's why so many high performing men struggle when it comes to family life. Like and it's really confusing, right? Because, it's no problem for you to lead teams. I'm not saying it's easy, but you've been doing it for a while, right? So you can lead teams, you can close those deals, solve those problems, put out fires, or train your people to put the fires out for you so you can make the bigger decisions. But, at home, like managing emotions, managing conflicts, expectations, I mean, that's a big one. And just being present with your family, that can be really difficult, especially when you're on 24/7, it feels like at work. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down what it takes to have certain set of skills that necessarily won't work at home, but they do work at work. How to shift from control to more connection, and give you guys a simple strategy on how to be more present so that you can strengthen your family relationships. So let's start off with, why success at work doesn't necessarily translate to success at home. Well, I'm going to give you kind of like a couple of opposites, right? So, at work, you lead through control. Now, what I mean is you're not micromanaging or anything like that. I mean, there's some people out there that do that, right? But not through force. But I mean like control, having a cadence throughout your day, being efficient. You know what I mean? So at work, you lead through control, but at home, you have to lead through surrender. And that's a word that a lot of guys do not like, right? And surrender can be a beautiful thing, a beautiful surrender, right? When we think of beauty, we think of attraction or attractiveness, an alluring nature, right? When we think about surrender, it could seem negative, but it can be beautiful, particularly when you do it in the context of wanting to be more present and connect with your wife and your children. I think Ephesians 5:25 says, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave up his life for her, right? And Jesus was a manly man. So that word give up, that doesn't mean that you're giving up all the things, but you're giving up the ego, right? You're giving up the control that you love and covet at work, but at home, it's a lot different, right? You're leading from the front, but also leading side by side with your wife and teaching and training your children with grace attached. So again, at work, lead with control. Good. At home, lead with surrender. All right. Here's another opposite. At work, success, what that can mean, it means setting goals, right? And executing the plan or multiple plans, right? But at home, success means being, not doing the execution and the plan, but being present, especially when there is no plan. Being present requires a slowing down of the self. And that can be really difficult when you go from work to home, right? Maybe you're taking the train back home. Maybe you're driving back home. Maybe you have a short walk back home, but that transition time is everything. I'm going to talk about that in a second. At work, when we're talking about, what am I even doing? Like, is it even working? And if it's not working, we're going to shift, right? So at work, you can measure progress through results. Simple, cut and dry, right? But at home, you need to measure progress through connection. So what does that mean? Does that mean that your teen is opening up and talking to you more? Are they not talking back as much because they finally understand that you get them? What does connection and deeper connection look like with your wife, right? How can you become a person with the overflowing capacity to not just give love, but to receive love. A lot of men don't know how to receive love. A lot of high performing men don't know how to give themselves credit from a job well done because we're constantly chasing the horizon of success. More, 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 right? Let's see what I can accomplish in this life before we retire, or whatever that may be. There's the drive, the insatiable drive to say, to level up into the next result. I mean, it's very attractive, right? So those are kind of like those opposites I want you guys to think about when it comes to why success at work may not be the same as success at home. All right. So strategy, we want to talk about strategy. So let's go from strategy, right? So how can we go from shifting, like just shifting time, right? As a coach, I work a lot with perspectives, like shifting perspectives so you can create a different result, right? In your thinking. So let's go with the strategy number one, how to shift more time into more meaningful time, right? So, most high performers, they think, I just need more time at home. If I just had more time, then I could be who I always envisioned myself to be. In fact, I want to be able to be a better dad than my dad, or I want to be exactly like my dad, or I want to take some parts of how my dad led and how my mom led, or how I saw, my uncle, whatever it may be. Like, there's a part of you that really wants to be all that you can be at home, right? But if you don't have more time, what could you do? Right? Money and time, they are nothing more than energy. So if you have limited time, then you have to generate more energy, right? Because, the truth is, when it comes to spending time, right? Spending time, this goes another money reference, right? When it comes to spending time, quality beats quantity every single time. All right. So we need to put our focus in. What can I do with the 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes? Dialing in to being super present, learning how to listen, learning how to ask, very thoughtful questions to get into your wife's world, into your child's world. That could mean everything for them. And there's specific times on where you can do that best when it definitely comes to children. Like, for example, kids are processing things all day. They're not going to open up to you. Even at the dinner table, that might not even be the best place to get them to, talk about their day, right? Because you might just ask them surface stuff. How was your day? How was school? Fine. Like you're going to get something like that. But when the sun goes down and gets closer and closer, kind of to like wind down the home, that's the time they are ready to receive questions, and you'll get more of a dialogue from them there. All right. So other ways on how to, create more meaningful time. You got to put the phone away. Now, I know sometimes that's difficult because, you bring work home, right? But there has to be something to where you communicate to your wife and you communicate to your kids that you're not attached to work. So there could be various ways on how you can put the phone away, right? You can just tell yourself, from this time to this time, I'm dedicating 20 minutes for my wife, 20 minutes to my kids, and then I can go back online with my phone, whatever that may look like. Or you literally tell them, excuse me, I have to excuse myself for a second and go ahead and handle this work call real quick. So they know that time with them in their presence is so sacred that you are going to take the time and the energy to get up from where you are and go handle business and then come back and then put the phone away. That communicates everything to them. Also, you can create like really small, consistent touch points. And that can just be like really like charted out in your planner, in your calendar. It goes back to like those small pockets of time where you're just super present and dialed in with them. But sometimes if we're really locked into efficiency, like at work, you can be efficient also with that presence of time at home. You literally just going to have to put it in your calendar. If you live by your calendar, like I live by my calendar, man, that would be super good for you. And finally, something that you could be a trigger phrase for you. I'm really big about trigger words and trigger phrases. just allow your brain just to kind of like transition into like the next role that you're about to find yourself in. And mine that I really love, and maybe you would like to adopt this too, is be where your feet are. You probably heard this before, right? Be where your feet are, right? Not worrying about work, thinking about, hey, what might have happened earlier today at that meeting? What do I have to do next week? What's this deal I have to close? What's this content I have to drop? Or whatever it may be, whatever, line of work that you're in. But being where your feet are, it literally is a nice reset just to get you back into your body, and then treating the person that's in front of you like they are the only person that exists in the world at that time. Really powerful stuff, right? Because look, when you are super present and you're really dialed in, you're going to create the smallest moments of appreciation and meaningful connection. And that is something that sticks. It sticks to your loved ones, all right? So that's strategy number one. Strategy number two, you want to be able to create a decompression zone between work and home. Now, that's that transition time I was talking about before, whether you're taking the train back home, walking back home, driving back home, Uber back home, whatever, you're getting back home. That's your decompression time, right? So I like to think of this as like a energetic reset. And there's a whole bunch of different ways on how you can reset yourself energetically, but you need to get your mind and body back online with one another. You can't have this disembodied way of being, as you're going to be transitioning, not just into your next role, but just yourself, like finding just yourself, like turning the work off so you can get back to who you are, the being of who you are, as opposed to the doing, right? So a bunch of different ways that you can do this. You can take a walk when you get home. Maybe if you can get to the gym, if they have a steam room or a sauna, right? Just walk on that treadmill, maybe for 5 minutes only. If you're really limited on time, go into the steam room and sauna for 5-10 minutes. Will we like to do that for longer? Sure, of course. However, you're communicating to yourself and to your family when you tell them what you're doing, so that you can prep yourself so you can go home to be more present for them. That, hey, I need this little bit of buffer time so you can get the best of me. Could that happen every day? I don't know if it could. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. However, doing it at least once a week is going to increase the chances that you're going to do it 2 times and maybe 3 times and whatever like that. All right. Or look, maybe you have 0 time like that, but you are going to travel to get home. What about just sitting in the car silent for about 2 minutes before you enter the home? I do that all the time. And what if you play a type of some music that gets you in the mood that you would just love to be in, right? Sometimes, I like to play Christian lo-fi when I just want to get into a deeper, relaxed state. Christian lo-fi is slowed down beats, nice little cadence. There are no lyrics to it. If you never looked that up on YouTube before, Christian lo-fi, Lo-Fi. It's pretty cool. Also, you can play upbeat music. Heck, you could just, if you just want to kind of get some energy going, right? Just play some happier music, okay? Music really can affect your mood. So create the mood that you want to get into. The whole point is dropping into your body. And finally, well, 2 more things. So conscious breathing, right? Meditation, but I like to call it conscious breathing, right? Because we're consciously slowing down our breath, right? Rewiring our sympathetic nervous system from all the fires we put out throughout the day and conversations that we had, all the inputs. What we want to do is kind of slow that all down. And conscious breathing literally can just be paying attention to breathing. We want to slow the breathing down, right? Slow inhale, slow exhale. Don't have to worry about, is it 4 seconds in? Is it hold it 4 seconds? Is it 4 seconds out? Is it 3 seconds? Isn't it 5 seconds? Don't worry about that. It's bringing attention to your breath and breathing from the diaphragm, right? Just breathing from the diaphragm, seeing where any of the tension from the day is. Inhaling peace, exhaling stress, right? Do it for a minute. Do it for 2 minutes. Whatever you want to do it for, do that consistently 5 days in a row. It's going to pay huge dividends. And capping it off with prayer. Asking God to help you release the tension of the day, helping ask him to help you drop in to who he wants you to be once you enter in that home and stand in the presence of your wife and your children, and standing in the presence of the Lord, allowing the Holy Spirit to guide your decisions, just to calm you down, right? That way you can just, walk into home and be be like that beautiful presence, that alluring, attractive presence. All right. So those are two strategies. Here's the last strategy I'm going to give you. Ask your family what they need. As high performing men, we get things done. We love, love, love to take action. We love to fix things. Even for really talented problem solvers, what do? Create more problems so we can solve them, right? But you don't want to create no more problems, any more problems that you need to have in your own home, especially within your parenting and your marriage. So, when we're looking to let go of the control and drive more connection, we can overthink that, right? We can overthink what connection even is. So if we're like looking to force and create these perfect moments of connection, it's not going to work, because literally all your family really needs is you, all of you, the real you, the you that is not like occupied with duty, occupied with getting things done, occupied with thinking about 4 or 5 years down the road, college and whatever it may be, right? Just plain old you, and that's good enough, right? So they're gonna need you, and instead of assuming what they need, ask them. Shift like into a coaching role, right? Coaching is nothing more than leadership. Coaches ask awesome questions, right? If you want better answers from anyone, ask better questions. And the simplest ones are the best and the most profound, especially said in a curious, empathetic way. What do you need from me today? What do you need from me right now? Right? That can go very far, right? And it's very meaningful. And that's it pretty much with that last strategy. Just super simple, all right? Um, yeah, just really, if I can leave you with the last part of that strategy, is just let go of trying to force a perfect moment and needing it to be perfect, right? And experiencing the moment literally for just what it is, just feeling what connection is. It's going to bring you so much joy. All right. So let me bring this all home. So we talked about surrender at the very beginning of the video, right? So when it comes to surrender, what do you need to do? What do men need to do when they surrender? How can you fully surrender and let go and let God? Well, trust. Without trust, it ain't happening. Who's going to surrender anything without trust, right? It's like those trust falls. Or if you get yourself in a roller coaster, I haven't done that in a very long time. I'm probably not going to get into one of those because I'll make my head spin. But even if you get in a roller coaster, right, you trust that that harness is going to keep you safe as you have this exhilarating experience and all these laughs. You trust in traffic behaving when you're driving so you don't get in an accident. You trust the pilot. You trust doctors. It's trust, right? Surrender requires trust. And the ultimate trust as a man of faith is trusting in our Lord God to be able to have our back. He knows us better than we know us, right? So getting into that prayer life, right? Having that prayer life just sink into your head, into your body through those moments of just those energetic resets, right? Really just learning on how to shift from your head to heart, to soul, to spirit, doing all that stuff. I mean, that's really cool. Like Psalms, when it comes up, Psalms 46:10, be still and know that I am God. Well, you're going to have to know who God is in order to trust him to be still. Very simple scripture, not long at all. Be still and know that I'm God. It's the knowing. Now, how much does our work choke out our quiet time with God? getting into the Word, getting into our Bibles, being with other men of God, other men with faith, having conversations. If you're working a lot and you're attending kids' games and helping them study for school and helping your wife run the household, got your honey-do list, trying to work out when you can work out. A lot of stuff, man. A lot of stuff. Be still and know that I'm God. When do you take your time to know God? The key to surrender is trust, and this is how we need to do it. All right, so we want to win at work. We want to win at home. We want the best of both worlds. How can we do it? Well, I'm just going to sum it up like this. Success at work and success at home, they require the different skills. So don't push for results. Rest in connection. You don't have to choose between winning at work and winning at home. You can do both if you're willing to do that shift from control to connection. All right. So I hope this was helpful for you today. Drop your comments below. Let me know your thoughts. And if you ever need to kind of like talk through this a little bit more, I'm only a shout out away. Please connect with me. And yeah, subscribe, hit the button for more faith-driven content. I'm here for you. All right. Later.